Alright, hello. We got another termed war today, so I'm already looking for someone to trade hits with. And looks like we got a bite already. So I'm going to go ahead and unequip and do my Medouts for this guy, and then we'll go from there. So, I have explained this in a previous video, but whenever you have a termed war, it's nice to reach out to people with similar stats as you in the other faction and just come to terms with trade hitting. One person will unequip. I'll refresh so you can see. I have the quick loadouts here, so I just have a rusty sword on, and then I will be using my small first aid kit, also known as a SFAC, to med out. I'm watching my life bar. Whenever it gets around 1, I'll just hit it and see if I can come out of the hospital. Generally, it's good to keep an eye on the hospital time, because I believe with the educations and everything, small first aid kit is a base of 20 minutes and goes up to about 24 minutes with educations and everything. Sometimes you can be in the hospital for like 28 minutes or something like that, so using a first aid kit is better in those situations, but for the most part, just using this SFAC makes more sense. So we're just letting him burn his energy on us, and we'll keep doing this for a minute, and once he's done with his hits, we will swap. I will be running that Ithaca I've been running for a long time now, trying to get the hits on it done. And I also have the BT MP9 Revitalize that I'll be using. I'm still using that assault set. I have a Marauder set as well, but I traded that with my wife there so she can be running the Marauder set for more life while I run the assault set. And I think the goal is to get Delta at some point, and that should be a fun little thing to do. Anyway, if you've never seen the termed war videos that I've done, the whole point of this is to profit by reaching terms. You can reach certain target respect goals, like every time he's hitting me, he's getting respect for his faction, so it builds up their score. Whenever I hit him, it'll build up respect for our score. And so by doing that, we can increase the amount of rewards that both factions get for the ranked war and conserve as much energy as possible. And frankly, for this matchup, the best we could do is just kind of piss them off and either fly a lot or stay turtled and spend a lot of money doing that. And while it does make sense to do that to deter people that are trying to be hard on terms, and like there is a place for like kind of being annoying in Torn, at the end of the day, that like it wasn't going to be a balanced fight at all, and that's just a consequence of the ranked war system. It doesn't take into consideration stats at all of the members. It's just the ranking. So you will get matchups like this. And if leaders can come to terms, and maybe I'll talk about terms a little bit. I used to do the terms for the faction. Timmy does a great job handling it now for black statues, and he always brings terms to us to talk about and all that, and but he knows what he's doing, and he's really good at it. And So basically what you're doing when you're discussing terms is you're trying to look for your profitability in relation to the reward index, which if we look, we have a target here of 17.9. So what Timmy had done was compile all of the rewards using the war history right here. If you click faction warfare at the top of the faction page. Oh, you missed. That's very rare. I don't have any dexterity. If you look at this, you can actually... Oh, I gotta close my chat with them. You can actually look at the result. We're gonna have to scroll down a bit because... I'll filter by black statue so I don't have to go through all the ongoing ones. Is he done? What's going on? Oh, it's just lag. Okay. Oh no, is the health tick. It's 5 minutes. I was confused why I had life. Alright. Okay, so it looks like he's ready to be hit. So my defense loadout is the one I'm running this crazy set on. And we're still going to be working on weapon experience. The Ithaca only has a few shots in it. And so it takes a while to do. And then the BTMP9, I should have done this back before ranked warring was a thing. This was like the best secondary weapon. And we will use our blood bags to get up and out. And we'll open his attack loader. And whenever he's ready, I will start hitting him. I'll just hit with the Ithaca till he's down. I might have to use this tear gas. I don't even know what his... Did we trade stats? I don't even know if we traded stats. Let me look. It's not loading. And he's ready, so we'll just go for it and see what happens. Beautiful loadout. Gotta love those outfits. So whenever you're doing the hits, you have to refresh, so you can just kind of leave, refresh. We'll say currently in the hospital. When he comes out, we just click OK. Or start fight. Leave, refresh. I haven't got to do this. Last time I was setting up hits, we actually missed the chance to do our hits because we reached our goal too quickly. So this is actually quite nice. Alright. We do have 1000 E, but he probably doesn't have 40 hits worth of med cooldown. We'll see what happens with this. The BTMP9 has revitalized, so there's a 10% chance that if I finish the fight with it, that my energy gets refunded. So that's why I'm trying to run this for the ranked wars especially. And you can see how much respect we're getting. We're getting 13 respect per hit, and that is a combination of having similar stats, which is the reason why we unequip, because otherwise we'd be losing life needlessly. And the reason you don't, like, a lot of people will try to keep their sets on and like earn a defend or whatever, but that's just ego, because what you're doing is you're wasting medical cooldown for both people. And if you waste the other person's medical cooldown, that's fewer hits they can do for you. So always, always, always unequip your armor and weapons. The pillow is good, the rusty sword is good, and the plastic sword is good weapons to have whenever you're medding out for someone else. So yeah, even if they should beat you easily, you still want to unequip for them, because you don't want to waste any of their life so that they can med out for you. It's a reciprocal kind of relationship that way. And this guy's pretty solid with his Medouts. He's pretty quick. That's another problem with this faction that we matched, is they're chromatic. And I guess technically, with us being in the OBN alliance and them being part of the used to be crypto, now it's the CR, Incensius and Cursus alliance, technically our enemies, so I guess I should be talking bad about these people. But as far as I've seen from them, a lot of them are pretty active and cooperative and know what they're doing. They're a good group, and that's actually a good reason to make these videos and educate players, because if I can get people like you that I'm speaking to right now kind of up to date on how to play Torn and know what they're doing, then we have a better chance of beating people that are very competent in what they're doing, like this chromatic faction. So don't tell anybody I said that. They're dumb poo-poo heads if anybody asks, but just between me and you, they do know what they're doing, and they're a pretty good faction. So as far as terms go, going back to that for a second, whenever you have a target like that, Timmy has compiled all of the faction warfare history to see how rewards stack up in relation to war history. Using these views, you can pull all the war results from the API, and so he did that and plotted all of the rewards in relation to value and in relation to the bonus respect. I think he did it for like 50 factions over like 6 months or a year or something, and Timmy was able to plot that it's about 50% of the target respect, this starting number, that optimizes rewards. So if you get to around 50% of that for your losing faction, and then your winning faction can get the difference, so that the war will time out, because after 24 hours a ranked war will let's see how we're doing on respect, or energy, I mean. After 24 hours of a ranked war, the target respect will begin to decay by 1% per hour. And is that the end of his medical? It's probably the end of his medical. That might be why he's stopping. We do have a hit cap of 30 for us, so let's see where I'm at. At 29, I just need one more. Actually, I got an assist, so I guess technically I don't. Oh no, I didn't get the assist because I won that fight, so he's done 28 for me. Before I started recording, I was watching faction chat and had someone that needed help. I should be watching it again. Oh, that's nice of them. Yeah, that's the problem with all these hits, and that's exactly why you don't want to like have your set on even if you think the other person can beat you, because that would have been a blood bag, which is an hour of cooldown, which means it's, you know, how many ever more Medouts with specs that is. It's not an hour, it's a half hour, excuse me. Blood bags have a half hour cooldown, and then the SFAC has 10 minutes. So that's why you don't want to use up their life. Life is the biggest thing during war, followed closely by energy, and those two together kind of determine how capable you can be in a ranked war. So with him still with him out of the picture, how much more time does he have? Let's see. He's got a while. So we're actually going to steal our last hit from... I need to go back to the faction. By the way, always have your icons below your bars. You can do this in settings. This is how good players have their icons. If you have them up here, that's bad. Don't do that. The reason is because this is cool and that isn't. So that's a joke. I'm just playing. But let's go in here, see if we can't deal a hit here. We'll do something sneaky. Well, here's 5.3 bill. There. 4 hours. Yep, that's going to be the hit for us right there. We got plenty of life. They're plenty weak. Uh-oh. Okay. And we leave, and that's the 30th hit. So we have a hit cap that we agree to. It's just so that people can fairly hit before we hit our target, which we're going to 7,500. So because of that, to me, is kind of still experimenting with like how much our hit caps need to be. It's not as simple as just like choosing a number for everyone to reach, because we are limited by the targets we have, and we can see here that like it's not that we have like weak players on our side, but this is a different type of faction right here. This is one of those top end factions, so it's going to be a lot harder for anyone not in the top end of our stats to actually find targets. And also that means our high stat people, 9 bill, 13 bill, 12 bill, 12 bill again, they have to kind of hit higher than they would like to, because ideally you want to hit around half your stats, because you're still going to get full fair fight for that. You can see fair fights right here. But the problem is if we have a 2 bill guy here and he's trying to hit 2 bill guys because he can't find anyone to trade with because they don't have that many people in the 2 bill range, then that he has to hit lower, and he's going to have to kind of make compromises and hit people close to his stats and risk losing. So by us upper ends also hitting a little higher than we're comfortable with, then that helps give them more targets, and so it just relieves pressure from the bottom end. So if you are at the bottom end and you're struggling for targets, and you let that be known, and that doesn't mean complain, it just means like, hey, I have a few targets, or I have very few targets, then the upper end should read that and be like, okay, well, I'm not going to hit people that are, you know, below 60% or 50% my stats or something like that. And it just makes the flow of the faction a lot easier. I feel like I don't really have anything else to say. I don't have any sort of plan to discuss anything specific, but for this video we did talk about several things. We saw trading hits, and we were able to see the whole thing this time rather than just the Medout part. We were able to talk about weapon experience a little bit, showing you the Ithaca and the BT-MP9, and of course we talked about target respect. Just to summarize that real quick, this starter amount will start decaying after 24 hours, so the war is forced to end. So if one faction has any amount of lead, then eventually this will decay and they will win. So what a termed war does is it gets both factions respect so that they can get rewarded with the caches at the end of the war while it times out. And because of that, we want to make our hits as efficient as possible, so that's why we trade our hits. If I can hit someone for 13 respect over and over again really, really quick, we can build up chains, we can kind of knock out what we need to knock out, and then we're done with it. We can just wait for the timeout. So that's another thing we had talked about a good bit, and we talked about different factions, matching them, how to kind of compensate for being outstatted. Last thing, actually before I close it out, I do want to talk about one more thing. So this is a little bonus after the outro tip, and that is these chains. What we have been doing is we've been letting people do outside hits for half reward. And the reason we do that is if you look at this chain right here, you can see we're getting close to a bonus. And the chain doesn't care if we're doing war hits or not. It will continue to go up with any hit. So because of that, if we have people that don't have targets and do their hits on the outside hits, or like people not in the war, outside war, it's still going to get our chain counter up. That's going to get us to the bonuses that we can land on them to get more respect more quickly. So that's the big thing. But the other thing is, by them doing outside hits if they don't have targets, and even if it's at half pay, so like they have to do double the amount of hits to earn the same cap, so it's 60 outside hits or 30 war hits, it builds this little respect multiplier. You can barely see it down here at the bottom here. I don't know a way to blow it up or see it anywhere else, but it says 1.49 right now. So there's 49% bonus respect just because our chain is getting towards 1k. And at 1k, we'll get our bonus hit in, and then this will tick over to 1.5. And then as we work towards the next bonus, it will continue to climb. It's a logarithmic function that this multiplier increases. So just having like a 1k chain is like very, very beneficial for this. It's also a reason why there's, well, I don't want to get into it. Basically, the multiplier makes it where even having some chain like this is really, really good for your hits. So you get more respect per hit because you have this respect multiplier. But that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. I really appreciate you being with me today, going through this ranked war, just going through the motions of it, and hopefully there was something that I was rambling about that was helpful or beneficial to you. But I'm gonna kind of chill for a bit, maybe do some assists if anybody needs them, and then I'm gonna be out of here. So hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.